Namaskar. Welcome to Ancient Wisdom. Today we will be enjoying the story of Barbaric from Mahabharata. In Mahabharata, the Kaurav-Pandav war was likely to happen at any moment. As a result of which, both Kaurav and Pandav started collecting variety of supporters on their side. Kaurav collected almost 11 Akshauhini Sena and Pandav managed to collect 7 Akshauhini Sena. But there was a mighty warrior who was left aside, who was left alone. And that mighty warrior was called Barbaric. Who was Barbaric? Barbaric was Ghatotkach's son. Who was Ghatotkach? Ghatotkach was son of Hidimba. Who was Hidimba? Hidimba was Bhima's wife. Bhim had killed the demon Hidimba, but his sister Hidimba was in love with Bhim and she wanted to marry Bhim. Bhim, with the permission of Kunti, married her with the condition that after a child is born, they would separate and she will not come in between in their life again. So this is what happened. From Hidimba and Bhim, Ghatotkacha was born, and the demons, the Rakshasas, they follow a different timeline. So Ghatotkach married and his son was Barbaric. Barbaric was a mighty warrior. He had done lot of tapas and lot of practice. He had got great skill and he was in a way invincible. He was also called as Baan Dhari or Baan Dhari, the one who has got 3 arrows. He had 3 invincible arrows which could annihilate anything. And he had promised that he would only fight from the side that was weak. When Krishna came to know about this, he immediately realized the danger of this. Here was a warrior who was not battling for a purpose. He was battling for his own self or his own pratigya. Secondly, the kind of pratigya he had taken, that I will always fight on the side of weak, would mean annihilation of the earth. Or would fight from the Pandav side. But then, the moment the Kaurav Sena reduced below the number of Pandav Sena, he would go to the Kaurav and start killing the Pandav Sena. And this is something that he will continue doing till nobody remained. In a war, if nobody remained, what is the purpose of war? The purpose of war is establishment of Dharma. And in this case, Barbaric would be the biggest obstacle in establishment of Dharma. So Sri Krishna went to him in the disguise of a young Brahmin and he asked him, "Oh mighty warrior, where are you going?" And Barbaric said he was going to join the Kaurav-Pandav war, or he was going to join the Mahabharata war. Whose side are you going to be? He said, "I am going to fight on the side of the weak." "And what is your speciality?" Barbaric said, "See, I have got these 3 arrows. With these 3 arrows, I can do 3 functions and finish the war in a few minutes. How? This first arrow, I can mark out everything that I can demolish everything that was marked by the first arrow." Sri Krishna feigned disbelief. "Oh, this is not possible." And then when he showed his disbelief, Barbaric immediately wanted to convince him that what he was saying was truth. He said, "Okay, I will show a sample. there is this tree, banyan tree. With my first arrow, I will mark all the leaves. With the second arrow, I will leave the tree, not to be hurt. And with the third arrow, I will burn all the leaves. Krishna said, great, try it out. Show it to me. And if it doesn't happen, then what? And Barbaric said, oh, if it doesn't happen, I will give my head. Krishna said, fine, do it. Immediately, Barbaric put first arrow on his bow, shot it at the tree, all the leaves were marked. Second arrow, the tree was marked as safe. Third arrow, all the leaves were burnt. And then Barbaric came back to Sri Krishna and said, see, it is done. Sri Krishna lifted his foot and there was one green leaf. So Barbaric had not been able to do what he had said. And immediately he offered his head. He realized that this Brahmin must be somebody very special. He realized it is Sri Krishna. He asked Sri Krishna, what is your purpose in doing this? Sri Krishna said, my purpose is to establish Dharma. And you are the biggest obstacle. So you should not fight the war. And that is why I did this. Barbaric said, yes, I will not fight the war. My head is now yours. But I will like to see the war. Sri Krishna said, fine, your wish is granted. And he placed Barbarica's head on a small hill in Rajasthan, in today's Rajasthan. And this head, all through the time, watched the Mahabharat war. Even today, this temple exists. It is called as Ghatotkacha temple, temple of Barbaric, or temple of head of Barbaric, which was cut or severed by Lord Krishna. But there is also another story or side story to this. After the war was over, all the Pandavas were quite happy, naturally so. But with that, they also started feeling, I did this. They were having altercation sorts of as to who was the most effective. Yudhishthir said, I led you to glory. Arjun said, I killed most of the important warriors. And Bhim said, no, I was the one who was responsible. So this fight was there, and as usual, whenever they were having any kind of altercation, they wanted any advice, they went to Sri Krishna. They asked him, who was the most important influence in this war, please let us know. Sri Krishna, instead of giving a straight answer, took them to Ghatotkacha. He showed them Ghatotkacha and said, see, this is Barbaric who has seen the entire war. So he will be the one to tell you. He is the right one to tell you who is the most important warrior, who caused maximum damage and what happened. And all of them go to Ghatotkacha and asked their question. Tell us who was most effective warrior in this war. And Ghatotkacha said, I don't know who was the best warrior. All that I could see all through the war was there was a Trishul and there was a Sudarshan Chakra. These were the two weapons which went around, and whoever was killed by either of these two. Pandav realized their folly. They realized that they were mere instruments in the hands of God, and it was the will of God that they were carrying out. Their ego was specified. We learn two things from this story. First is, the Kshatriya's dharma is not only to make war. The war has to have a purpose, and that purpose has to be to establish dharma. A Kshatriya or a warrior without any aim, with just the aim to prove his mettle, is actually a more danger than anything else. On the other hand, we have to have complete faith in God, because it is God who is getting things done. We at the maximum can be very good conduits or very good instruments, and we can prepare ourselves for that. This is all for today. Let's meet tomorrow in Ancient Wisdom. Namaskar.